Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Friday, March 22nd. We're going to take a look at SoFi today. So SoFi trying to push off of this $6.99 level, really the psychological $7 level, and at least bumping itself up a level to this $7.39. Struggling with that a bit today, but we'll see if it can develop any motion from that next week. You know, what I'm looking for, if there's sort of any bullish hope here, at least in the sort of short to midterm, is, it could certainly rise and never re-enter this flagging pattern that was this pennant that was forming. But, I would love to see it if it is going to push. I'd love to see it get back in here because I do think it could still be quite interesting, just because of the period of time in which this is taking to develop, and that there is, plenty of recent price action well above this and below this. So at least giving a possibility for, we, we could call it a planned explosive move, just meaning that it's not just sort of like climbing and falling seemingly just off of, an earnings catalyst or a random analyst upgrade or downgrade. But something out of the formation itself. So we'll see if it's able to do that. It would take quite a bit of juice for it to get there, but I mean, it has retraced quite a bit from these jumps in price when it got into the double digits, and then even when it jumped up and was able to try to hold 10 again and failed. We're quite far from that at the moment. So we'll see if it decides it really can't hold that $7 level, then 638 would be the next level down that I have, and then 576. If it can climb up in here, or even if it stays outside and decides not to, and then we can, delete it off the chart. But 739 would be the level it's wrestling with right now that we spoke about, 791, 847, and then this old gap level, was here. 911 to 948. Now on the Thinkorswim side of things, we have, just sort of like slowly and sadly bleeding out the, lower bound of the channel, just kind of consistently pushing itself a little bit back in, pushing back all the way down slightly out of the lower bound, and then pushing itself back in. So again, the question here is there more bearish momentum that has to be worked out or exhausted before it can sort of get any foothold? Now, oftentimes in either direction, if we see a stock coming from outside of a bound of the channel, or at least having been pinned to the bound of the channel, and it comes back in and tries to push toward the mid-range of the channel, that bright blue line, and it can't, and it, wicks down off of the wave cloud, which is what we see here, and it stretches all the way back down to the lower bound again. Often I interpret that to mean that there very well may be some more momentum in the direction in which it's moving, in this case, bearish momentum, that needs to be exhausted before it's going to be able to get a foothold and do anything like recapture, retest the mid-range of the channel, and then potentially, open up a door at least for it to try to push toward the upper bound of the channel. So, I'm not loving this out of the lower bound, resistance off the wave cloud, pushing it all the way back down to the lower bound, and once again appearing as though it may be resisting off of the wave cloud again without even being able to get to the mid-range. That certainly takes out some of the potential juice that I was hoping it could get, where it would, be able to get itself back in here. But that's really going to take, because this doesn't last that much longer. I mean, it lasts until June, but it's still, the way that SoFi moves, and we've seen it over a long period of time, it's a lot to ask SoFi to get back in here, and especially with the view of this current situation. So we'll see. it doesn't always play out that way, of course. And like I said, SoFi is so catalyst prone that who knows, there could be something that's just sort of unforeseeable that comes into play that is a bullish catalyst, and maybe that sort of gives it a little bit of increased volume and buyers stepping back in to try to get a hold of this one. But we'll see. For the time being, it's seeming to have left this pennant, and I don't know that it's going to be able to get back in. And if it doesn't, then I'm sort of questioning, okay, where does that leave us price-wise for the near to midterm? All right, folks, I hope that your trading week has gone well and that you enjoy your weekend. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.